Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you have survived Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday. Those are my NOLA peeps. And now we're in the Lent season. So, behave yourself. That's all. Just wanted to come through. I'm about to do a recording of a podcast episode. So I thought it would be cool to just record in the studio. And so just wanted to catch up and talk. I've been thinking about a lot of things. And so I just wanted to share something that's really resonating in my spirit. I just want to share it. If it resonates with you, take it, break it, make it your own. But I remember I had a video in the past where I talked about, start now, like start by starting. And what came up for me this past weekend, I was just sitting here working in my office and something dropped in my spirit, said it ends today. And it was like, it ends today. And that's the thing that has been resonating for me this week and been a test this week of things that need to end. And so for me in my life, it's just been like, what needs to end? God is bringing things to a close that no longer need to operate in my life for this next level. And the cuts are very clean. Let me just say that. Like, things have been happening and transpiring throughout this week. And it's just been like, hearts done. We're cutting it off. And so the thing that is encouraging me is my spirit is saying it ends today. What is it that in your life that needs to end for you? Maybe it's the way that you view yourself. Maybe it's the way that people feel like they could treat you. Maybe it's the way that, you self-sabotage. Excuse me. There's something in your life that you need to end today. And it doesn't happen immediately in most cases. The revelation that hit me was just like, I'm carrying a lot of baggage. I'm carrying a lot of baggage that I don't even think is mine to be carrying anymore. And there's an ease to where some of us are going in our journey when you do the work, when you do your own work, right? You're your first healer. You're your own healer. And I believe that you are your own healer first. And you know what to do most times. I think what people need is empowerment and encouragement a lot of times, but your inner you already knows this is the thing that's going to feed you. For example, I had so let me say this. I always ramble, but let me just say this. So since I got laid off, I've been looking for other jobs, right? I've been looking for just all kinds of things. All kinds of things that I've done that seem like they'll be interested, that completely aligns to, like, you could take the job description and put my resume right there. And it lines up perfectly. Can I tell you that during this time, there has been no denied, no job offer. I that's not what they're looking for. It's not this, it's not that. And so there must be something that's bigger that God is calling me to do. And I'm sure there are other people who are going through the same thing right now, because it can't just be me. It's got to be other people that are every door you thought that that would be available, every safety net that you thought, I could bank on my skills with this, I could do that, I could make this happen. It has not worked out. Or I've looked into something thinking in my mind, it would be like, wow, this would be amazing to do. And then something else in me says, no, but I can't do it that way. I no longer want to work for someone. I want to work with people, with someone, right? And I think there's a difference. To work for someone means that I have no autonomy. I have no vision. I'm kept in a little box, in a little cubicle, to be doing just what people want you to do, without thinking, without embracing who you really are and bringing that to the table. I only need you to do this specific thing. For me, wanting to work with someone is more of a collaborative effort, because we both recognize what we both bring to the table. We both recognize where we both may lack, or there are gaps for one another. And it's just a more of an open, expansive, collaborative process. And I've just come to the epiphany that I think I would lose part of myself that I have found if I go back into work environments that don't allow me to be the way that I'm being, my authentic self. And I know that when you take on jobs, there's certain ways that you have to, you are a representative of that organization, that body, right? That organization. At the same time, I think that there should be spaces, or there's a code, let me say this, there's a code of conduct that one must follow. But on the other side of that, the code of conduct becomes to then deny you of who you are. And that's where I have a problem working in an organization as an employee. Like, my mindset has shifted from employee to now entrepreneur, business owner. There's multiple things that I do, and there's multiple things I want to do. Like, yes, I have this podcast and I'm working on that and I'm launching that. I also have another business that works with my podcast, and I call that Humane in the Membrane, because we design educational learning experiences that are humanizing and relevant to the people that it's presenting. You're speaking to the people every day, and you've got to connect to them in different ways. And so within that business, I help design curriculum. I help strategize with curriculum. I help build out curriculum. I do instructional design. I work with everyone from districts to like in K-12 to like higher education institutions to like businesses that are very well known. You can go check out my Linktree page if you want to know the people I've worked with so far. So there's just a lot of things happening and a lot of moving pieces, and I love that it's never a dull moment. I'm never bored. I get to meet people who are actually mission driven, even in the profiting space. They're profiting, but they're also very much mission driven, and those people align to my mission and my vision and my values. And so applying for jobs is steadily confirmation that I should not go down that path anymore. That ends today. Like, that's the revelation I got like earlier this week, where as soon as I applied, it was like, no. And mind you, some people can be sitting here saying, oh, well, have you done your resume? I've revised my resume so many times. It's ridiculous. Like, I've that and my cover letter and all the tips and tricks, all of the things. Yes. And still get a stamp of denied. And so that's a message to me that ends today. That's not the path that I need to take. And I'm really trusting. I am really trusting in the spirit realm that things will work. They are working. Let me say that. They are working, not in the way I expect it to work, but it's all unfolding. I wrote on a piece of paper, and I was talking to my colleague, who's also my business coach. And I wrote the things before I left my last job. These are the things I wanted. And those things are manifesting. Those things are being seen. I said I wanted to be able to, make money. We're working on that. I said I wanted to work with dynamic groups of people whose heart and whose mind and spirit and energy aligned with mine, that they enjoyed the work that they do. They're passionate about the work. They're mature, they're understanding, they're compassionate, they're empathetic, all these things. And that is like people that have been coming forth to my path, but they're also like master gurus in what they do. And these people are phenomenal. Like, it's like Christmas, brain explosion every time I sit at these people's feet, because they're so knowledgeable, but they're so humble and they're so open to to other perspectives, other input, and we just work together. We just work off of one another, and it's beautiful. I said I wanted to be able to work within my own time, that's in my schedule, that's comfortable for me in my environment. And so I work remotely doing consulting work, or I'm working with, a client doing that kind of work. I'm not pent up in a building doing a thing for very long, because I love that I get to do different things that stimulate my mind and get to use my skill set in very unique ways, and use my gifts in very unique ways. I love to design and build things. So be that a schedule for someone, be that this plan of action. Here's a strategy, how we're going to work this, being able to go from the top of like, here's our goals, here's the strategy to get us there, and then rolling up my sleeves and like helping people on the ground to make it happen. Like, I love being able to go back and forth between those spaces. And that I was going to just use my gifts and my talents and my experience to help people, like to help people freely. And that's what brings me joy, is that I get to operate in my gifts. I don't get to have somebody else telling me what my gifts are, what they see my gifts are. God already told me where I'm gifted. And God's already told you where you're gifted. Where you're gifted is the impact that you have on people, the positive impact. Wherever you have a positive impact in some way, shape, or form, that's your gift. God's already told you that. You don't need anybody to confirm in you what you're good at. You already know. You just need to accept that that's the gift that you have, and then walk in it. And I have to say that this point in my life, I tried it before. I tried to have the faith before, and then the fear came in, and I can say that this is a different experience because the fear is removed. I'm not afraid of anything at this. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not afraid to die, like to die to it all. I woke up with that. I woke up this week with that kind of like, what happens is going to happen. I can't do any worse than what I've already done. Pee-wee. Sorry, y'all. I can't do any worse than I've already done. And I used to say like, I didn't do worse. It was what I needed. And now I'm at a point where God is like, it ends today. You don't do that anymore. It doesn't need you. You don't need it. Do something different. And so if we can determine when our start date is, when our new year happens, when the new start happens, then we can also determine when things end for us, when relationships end, when jobs end, when self-doubt, all the negative mindsets that we have about ourselves, when those things end, when foolishness ends, right? Foolishness from other people treating you common. All those things can end because you say they end, right? And then they end, and make up your mind to do that. So you can start by starting, and it ends today. What in your life can end today? And then think about it. Like, think about what in your life for you can end today. What do you don't need? You don't need it anymore. The crutch, we don't need those things. And so just, that was my end rant and preaching session for Friday. So, hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. Love you. God bless, and live your life first class.